want to see my chart, doctor?
Oh, you can call me doctor, but I'm not. No, I don't need to see your chart. I can't cure what ails you.
My disease won't affect your treatment.
I only need to know how long you have to live.
I have a month, unless I get a transplant.
My treatment only takes 2 weeks.
Does it work?
I don't guarantee my results. But you've spoken to the psychic. What does he say?
Oh, you know, I was scared when I was clinically dead in the hospital. I didn't see the white light. The psychic kept saying I would see a white light. I expected to see my relatives, and I didn't see the white light.
What else did the psychic say?
Well, he said that not seeing a white light doesn't necessarily mean I won't have an afterlife.
Well, he's right. Did he conduct any tests?
Well, he met with my family and me. But he couldn't contact any of our dead relatives. You see, we didn't know we had this problem. So.
Of course you didn't realize it. Society tells you that there's an afterlife for everyone. But they will never tell you the truth. Some people have an afterlife and some simply don't.
But I go to church.
Well, that's what's so tragic. The afterlife doesn't depend on your faith. It's all genetic.
Genetic?
Yes, genetic. Have you ever heard of the term spiritual energy?
Yes, isn't that the soul?
No, it's all a big lie. Spiritual energy is an oxymoron. It contradicts itself.
How?
Well, spiritual is spiritual and energy is physical. It's like saying spiritual physical. There is no spirit. It's all physical.
Then what's the soul, then?
When the body dies, energy is released. That is, if you have the right genes.
And I don't.
Probably not.
Of course not.
You see, death is a process. It's like running. If you were born without legs, you couldn't run. So, what would determine if you were born without legs?
My genes?
Yes. My procedure will make sure that you have enough energy to release into the afterlife when you die.
Where did you learn how to do all this stuff?
I've spent many years overseas trying to answer this question. If life creates life, why does death create the afterlife?
And this genetic thing is the answer?
Well, if you rub 2 rocks together, you don't get a third rock. Only life creates life, and only life creates the afterlife. A dead person cannot create the afterlife.
Where overseas did you study?
Different places. Places where the government is still lax in testing.
You mean testing on humans?
Well, my patients knew what they were getting into. Let's leave it at that.
All right, fine. Look, is it safe?
No. As a matter of fact, I only treat terminally ill patients.
I'm dying anyway. What do I have to lose?
Well, unless your transplant comes through.
Oh, come on. These are my options. Waiting for a transplant and not having an afterlife, or getting an afterlife and dying anyway.
You see, my procedure will shorten your life and make it impossible for a transplant to be successful. On the other hand, you won't just die and rot on the ground.
Yeah. Maybe the afterlife you give me won't be that much better than what I have now.
Well, but it will still give you the option to not just die and rot in the ground. Listen, at this point in my discussion, I like to ask my patients this question. What does the universe expand into?
More universe.
Well, the universe expands into what was there prior to the Big Bang.
Oh.
We live in a pre- and a post-Big Bang universe.
And?
As the universe expands, it incorporates the pre-Big Bang universe.
And so we live in the post-Big Bang universe.
Yes, but the afterlife resides in the pre-Big Bang universe, I suppose.
You're not sure?
No, but it helps my patients to understand that they don't release energy into this universe, but a more ancient universe.
What? You mean not heaven and hell?
Well, I I'm glad you brought that up. It's at the heart of all these lies about the afterlife.
How so?
Well, life is not fair. So, heaven and hell were created to level out the playing field. Just imagine that your enemies go to hell. In a way, it's to make people complacent about their lot in life.
Like an opiate.
Well, Marx wasn't wrong about everything, wasn't he?
Alright, now look then. Wait a minute. If it's not a paradise that you go to when you die, what is it?
I really don't know.
You don't know?
Well, the psychic tells me the biggest problem is that people don't realize that eternity lasts forever. And that is a very, very long time.
Well, Doctor, everyone's gotta be somewhere.
That is true. But there are dead people who ask how to commit suicide. Eternity is just too much for them to take.
Well, you can't cure that. So
Well, actually I can.
how?
Well, it's an inverse relationship. The more energy you release into the afterlife, the less time you survive in the afterlife.
What's the shortest time available?
Patient of mine lasted for one day. Patient of mine
One day?
lasted for one day.
You see, it's very speculative. I
But
can't
you
tell
see-
with much accuracy how long you will
It's very
survive in the
speculative.
afterlife.
I couldn't possibly. It's very, very hard to tell you how long you will survive in the afterlife.
Oh, come on. 50, 60 years? How long?
All right, let me do some calculations, okay? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, now. Oh, it's not too bad. All right, now. After 60 years, your spirit will be reabsorbed back into the pre-Big Bang universe.
And that's it. Then there's nothing.
That's it.
You've given me a lot to think about. And to be honest with you, I'm not so sure I'm convinced. Do you have any other references besides the psychic?
No. The psychic is my only link to my dead subjects. But in order to prove it, I would have to conduct this procedure on you.
Is there any reason why I should trust you more than my other doctors?
No. If anything, you should trust me less.
Less.
Yeah. You see, you're like the villagers who live below Dr. Frankenstein's castle. Frankenstein gave life to the dead. I give an afterlife to the living. Quite the opposite. But suspicion always remains among the villagers.
No. It's not that I'm suspicious or afraid of your new technology. I just would like a second opinion.
My competitors will tell you to read scriptures or pray. My therapy is the only one that combines medicine and the afterlife. But I understand your reservations.
It's just hard to know what to do, but I feel a little more in control.